Yeah, I'm here. Here I am. What's up? Hello. There's an echo in here. Get in here. Hurry up. Yeah, it's December 17th. It's about a week away from Christmas. And we're going to be talking about Daniel and Malaya, drinking turkey, Wade, Daniel's habits. Hopefully I made this public. What is it? Nobody can comment or chat? What did I do? Did I switch off chat here or what? Somebody say something. Oh my god. Enable chat. I didn't know I could turn it off. Oh, you guys are just fucking not talking to me. 15 people in here, all kinds of likes, and nobody wants to say anything. How dare you? The chat's enabled again. What an interesting day. Thank you, Cryptid Butterfly. What an interesting day thus far. The drinking turkey has been exposed by some dude up on Facebook as a former security guard at a Barton Creek shopping center. I'm not sure if that's in Austin, Texas. It might be. But he ain't no law enforcement agent. Dude, they hire anybody. There goes that fucking claim. How do you want to shame somebody for what it is that they do, right? It's not that anybody's shaming you for being, a mall cop in that sense. You're not even a mall cop. You're a security guard at a shopping center, which is cool. But it's not cool when you go around claiming to be in law enforcement. Bullshitting your YouTube audience. That just didn't start from somebody out there making it up, propping you up in your... That started with you, drinking turkey. But I was watching Ninchi. Ninchi talked about it this morning. I got a kick out of it. It made me laugh. She gets all wound up because she goes and she's gotten into that trap with correcting all of his misinformation that goes over there. And he panders and believes everything that Daniel Martel tells him. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. I'm a fucking tweaker. That's why him and DM get on so well, Laurel says? How do you mean? Probably because they're birds of a feather. Drinking turkey's probably a tweaker as well. What sort of people get security guard at shopping malls? Chomos? What a fucking weirdo. Retired people. Trying to keep the peace here at the shopping center. Yeah, you thought something was up from him from the start there, Bernice? You fucking guys. What is up, the real Norbeaster? Good to see you this morning. What else was going on? What was... I was supposed to give a message to Justin from another person telling him that he's got the car colors screwed up. It's a black car, not a blue car. for whatever that's worth. I don't know what that's about. Somebody told me to tell Justin that. I'm like, I don't talk to Justin in the background. He's a fucking clown. I'm just kidding. He's funny. So I'll just put it out there into the ether. If anybody is talking to him, tell him he's got to fix that. Apparently. Who are we talking about, Nini? Danny J Hernandez. DJ Hernandez. Former security guard. Right now. What are you saying, Liz? I wonder if he will still go live later. Of course he is. He's got nothing to be ashamed of. Now it's all out in the open. He's arrogant as fuck. A douchebag like that sits up there and claims that everybody else is stupid when it comes to this investigation and there's nothing to worry about. Yeah, I'd say you've got a real fucking complex on your hands, son. But at the same time, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to see everybody get worked up. I thought he was just playing a shtick. Like you usually have to play in and placate to, excuse me, your guest. And it's not about scrutinizing, it's about getting information. But that's not what old Danny J was doing. What do you think about that, Kent? He's literally the Temu version of a mall Redicop. You guys are hard. You guys are hard on drinking turkey. He thinks he's an undercover cop. Oh, yeah. Does he really, Laura? I don't watch him. I wouldn't watch that shit in a million years. I'm not a cop. I just play one on YouTube, Ginger Snap. Well, I've seen enough duty Ron now. I think I can take over. I wish I watched him more. That way I could have more shit to hold against him. But I don't. You guys, I'll let you guys roast the shit out of them and I'll read them. Oh, shit. I wonder how that got started. It must be all you crazy people watching him, misinterpreting his wisdom. Oh, this guy's so smart. He must be in law enforcement. You guys must have fucked up. Oh, fuck. Mama Bear says he claims to be about the facts and then turns them into whatever he thinks. And when others have a different opinion, they get deleted. No. It just goes to show you how much of a douchebag he is. You can delete whoever you want. Sometimes people come in and it's not about just having a different opinion. It's about where and how they want to use it. Like sometimes in a live stream setting, somebody will just troll with it for the sake of getting you off your rhythm or away from your thought or disrupting the stream in that sense or taking away from the point. Daniel Turkey, douchebag, you've never came up with a point. Your claim to fame is having a fucking double child killer on your fucking panel. How does that feel? Ginger Snap says, I heard dipshit say that he was in law enforcement for 8 years but suffered a back injury. Yeah, must have gotten in a fight with the fucking triads. He was trying to save a shop from getting looted. I'll just bet he was probably sat down for so fucking long he put his back out. That's a work-related injury. That's workers' comp right there, baby. I put in 8 years to get that comp claim. That's 8 years in law enforcement. Well, what law? What law were you enforcing? You were keeping the peace down there in an Austin mall? I don't know if it's in Austin. No, I was searching it up, believe me. Actually, I got it pulled up right now on let's see, I'll switch it over. I got it pulled up on Google Earth here. I think, or I did. Oh, I'm not sure what the hell's going on. Maybe I should close that. Yeah, that's Westwood Shopping Center, 3201 Bee Caves Road in Austin, Texas. That's Barton. So they say. I love his selfie. He's got this really funny selfie. Oh, he's got a Daniel-esque selfie. You should see the thumbnail. I have this other thumbnail that I was going to put up, but I didn't because I thought twice. I didn't want to take away. I'm like, oh, this is going to be too dramatic. But it's in the background. I'll use it. I made it in the while I was going through the discovery, in the throes of passion. Oh, you don't think he's an undercover cop? Nobody was accusing you. Don't worry. He reminds me of a cartoon character. Pee-Pee with sunglasses. Who's Pee-Pee? Reminds me of Speedy Gonzalez's slow friend, Slowpoke. Him, Special Agent Constable Kent Corbett, and Private Eye Chrissy T can all ride off into the same sunset. So, why didn't you guys just go put in a goddamn resume? Maybe they'll hire you to wash the toilets. It's a lot better than what it is that you're doing. Maybe, maybe not. They all want to pretend that they're just so much superior than anybody else. Every situation, every case has these types of individuals that pop up. I never heard this fucking guy's name before in a million years. All of a sudden, people are claiming that he's claiming to be law enforcement. Well, congratulations. Why don't you and fucking Duty Ron do a duet? Maybe you guys can sing something together. The Fraternal Order of Drunk Turkeys. First of all, what kind of fucking name is Drunk Turkey? You sound like a drunk. Cool J, DT up to something. He sometimes has to fumble over his words trying to back old Danny boy. I don't know. I don't listen to him. Who cares? Who the fuck cares if he's up to something? This fucking guy. My best friend and I were security guards when we were 19 for an office building after hours. Yeah, they play. Yeah. You just have to have somebody there to fill in. Maybe he's an individual who really takes his job seriously. We watched TV and slept. Easiest minimum wage job I ever had. That's right, Nini. Who calls themselves a drunk? I don't know, dude. That's some funny shit. Oh, yeah. Security here, you must do as I say. Stop running in the halls. It's like a hall monitor. That's for 8 years, was it? Good for him. So what does that have to do with law enforcement, I wonder? I wonder how he just automatically assumes and passes off that he was in law enforcement for 8 years like Ginger Snap is claiming. What do you say, Explore Core? He probably tackles people over a Kit Kat. No, they're not allowed to touch anybody anymore. Maybe they are in Texas. You can only watch and relay information. In a lot of big cities, I'm not sure about everywhere. You know how politicized things are nowadays. I wonder if he's allowed to carry any mace. Probably got double cans either side, both holsters. Brandy says he often talks about things he knows nothing about and it infuriates you. Oh, fuck. Ginger says he's been into true crime for 3 years. Before that, it was just football. He's a little fanboy. Guys. Oh, you fucking guys are funny. Hold on. Let's see. Let me switch this around. Let me see what Ninchi had to say about it. Play this little part. We'll capture it in the moment. Look at that selfie. Look at the selfie. Oh, hello. Look at me. Hello, ladies. Bet you spent like an hour and a half on that fucking beard. I bet you look sexy in uniform, boy. Let's see what people are saying down here. Oh, that's Ninchi's comment section. Excuse me.
My friend has been over-exaggerating his credentials for the...
Over-exaggerating his credentials. This is the problem. It's not the fact that you're a funny mall cop. Nobody cares about that, even though it's fun to joke about. You're not even exaggerating. You're over-exaggerating. Like, what's next? You going to be a security guard in this fucking International Space Station or what? I'm an exotic security guard for NASA. Let me see.
Correct misinformation from this content creator. And I still have other things that I need to address. So it certainly won't be the last time. I just wanted to share this with you. Seems that our turkey friend has been over-exaggerating his credentials for the purpose of convincing people that he is the one who is right about everything in this case.
Oh, fuck, that's even worse. That's even worse. This dude's a fucking scam artist. He's the type of individual you want to keep away from your kids. It's probably why you got fired in the first place, inappropriate conduct. You're saying he looks gay? Does look happy.
Like I said, many of us are having to correct misinformation that he is putting out there. Well, people have speculated that he was maybe a mall cop or a traffic cop. At the end of the day, turns out, this was posted on Facebook this morning, turns out he's a former security guard. So there's definitely a lesson in this for all of us. And I, for one, will continue to let my content speak for me rather than sharing my professional credentials, which at the end of the day on YouTube mean nothing. I should probably qualify that in terms of...
Listen, guys, you need to believe me. I've got 8 years in law enforcement. Believe me, I know what it is that I'm assuming.
I love Judy Ron, I love Ed Wallace, Chris McDonough, Bill Cannon. Now, these guys have done successfully shown how you can create content that is based on your professional knowledge, because they are...
I don't think you're quite getting it. I don't think you're getting it, Angry Rabbit. He wasn't in law enforcement, Angry Rabbit. He wasn't in law enforcement. Can somebody explain to Angry Rabbit in my chat that he wasn't in law enforcement to begin with? There's no ladder to climb. He over-exaggerated it. He was an ex-security guard. There's no just a constable in this position. Holy shit. Zoom! No, it's not a rent-a-cop. He's a security guard. It's like Ernie Shell, bro. No problem. Oh, shit. It's like Ernie. It's worse than Ernie. Skern dog. What are you, drunk turkey? A Kentucky colonel? Private security. Yeah. That's crazy. You could have done this job, Angry Rabbit. No background check.
are all former law enforcement. Bill Cannon, I believe, was a staff sergeant. Ed Wallace is a first grade detective or something. He's like, he's brilliant. If you ever want to learn forensic stuff, go to Judy Ron and watch any of his episodes where he has Ed Wallace as a guest.
I'm in law enforcement, 8 years, friends.
That guy knows everything about forensics. If there is anything that he doesn't know about forensics, it's probably not worth knowing. Anyway, they make it work, but they seem to be one of the exceptions to the rule. There's a lot of mediocre people who you can tell they've got some professional knowledge, who do push their professional knowledge to sell their content. And then you have other people who claim professional knowledge that they don't actually have. Admittedly, I've not hidden the fact that I have a few university degrees, but when I talk about them, that's more in context of me just telling some sort of anecdote to help explain something that I am explaining in one of my videos. But in terms of legitimacy, they don't make me any more legitimate as a content creator.
Again, don't look at the specifics, look at the intent. His intent was to convince you all of something that wasn't true. So obviously he acknowledges the fact that it's not true, or he wouldn't have to lean so hard on his false identity. Listen, friends, 8 years law enforcement, I know what it is that I'm talking about. Like that would even reflect on the truth in the first place. The fact that this goof wants to try to convince you of something tells you all you need to know about him. Now you're just a fucking dirty security guard. Corrupted AF. All on the back of Jack and Lily in this sense. Enabling the individual who violently took their lives.
Than anything else. I'm not sure I've really explained that well, but hopefully you get where I'm going with that. Anyway, let's get back to this discussion over Brad Wong and Justin Smith. Because
yeah, so she's talking about Brad Wong and Justin Smith and all of the detracting that she tried to do, the drinking turkey over on his show on behalf of Daniel. Listen, these are it doesn't matter about really why they have to acknowledge it in the paper and say that there's no evidence that it happened in that sense. What you're assuming, or what they're talking about, is there's no smoking gun that would otherwise make it impossible for them not to act on it. It's two people's word against his. It still means something in the terms of a case against Daniel. Because there's two witnesses. Just because there's no video of it doesn't mean anything. It just means that you have to go about either trusting them or not in context with all of the other circumstantial evidence down the line in the courtroom on the stand, motherfucker. Just because somebody comes up to the cop and says anything doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be altering to the case. We don't need to get too worried about it. It's just what happens when you, as a police officer, right, drunken turkey? When you're approached with a situation like this where the people are being deceptive, or they're straight up lying, or come to find out a long time later that they were lying in the first place. Don't think it's the first time. Probably happens all the time. They still have to go through the motions. These people haven't been scrutinized. They haven't been probed. They haven't been cross-checked. Because we're still in the information gathering part of this case. maybe we're in a cusp of something else because there's so much coming out. And it's all coming out by way of the language and the contradictions from old Danny Boy himself. The more that Daniel gets exposed, the worse that Janie looks at this point in time. Not that she ever looked very good in the first place. It would go without saying that you would think that, heaven forbid, that 2 children went missing from your property. The true question in the situation would be, what happened? Where are the kids? And it would be child-centric. And it's been the opposite. To talk about it in a general manner, zooming out a little bit, it's been all self-centered. Their priority has always been their own innocence and trying to convince people to believe them of a story that really shouldn't otherwise be shared in that sense. And I say that because the information that they give you, we don't care how many steps or where you were standing at any one point in time. We want to know what the fuck happened. Where are Jack and Lily? And you have these people coming forward telling you all about what would otherwise be extenuating information. Useless. But it's not useless because it shows the investigators where the guilt lies. Do you think it really fucking matters if that sliding door made a noise or not when the kids are fucking missing at this point? Do you think it's necessary to try to convince people that you were putting in a pool for the kids in the middle of the night in the early spring? See, if you look at these pictures, she has the leveling out in her mind because that's what they're doing over there at the side of the hill anyway. That's why that dirt wagon sits in the first place. That nasty old fucking RV that she forced herself to live in because she couldn't handle being around Malaya or the kids.
Because, like I said, this turkey guy has claimed that the RCMP came out and said their statements were fake, were false, and were made up essentially. And that is not the situation. So I'm going to cover all that in this video. And yes, I apologise, since beginning this video, I've had to start turning fans on and everything. So I'm going to start first with some audio showing you what these claims are that this turkey guy is making, and then I'll dive into it from there.
Law enforcement or the Global Mail and Canadian news media come out and say, oh man, we got this guy Bradley Wong. He's saying that he saw Daniel, Justin Smith, his buddy. The only 2 people happen to be best friends. Come out with these, the only statements in the area of anybody being in that area around are these 2 best friends that happen to be around there. They're the only 2 that say they saw something and saw him. Where
to start? First of all, he's claiming that it's the news media that came out and made these claims. Apparently, no one has shown him the documents. And he's saying that Brad and Justin are best friends, and they just happen to be the only 2 people who've come out with this information in the area. Well, I am not aware of Brad or Justin claiming to be best friends with the other individual. But I can guess the source of his information, and it's not a very credible source. I also want to point out that this turkey guy is the person who came out directly after the information was released about Brad Wong, as soon as his name was released at least, and was going out of his way to discredit him with articles and with claims from Daniel Martel. And it certainly seems like a bit of a stretch to claim that because two people in a community talk to each other, that they are best friends. As for his definitive statement that they are the only two people in the area that came forward, we'll put a pin in that.
RCMP disputes it.
Fuck, only two people in the area that came forward. There's barely any population there. It's the middle of nowhere. In my opinion only, says Kim. I think something happened to Jack and Lily Thursday night in between 8 and 11. Then Daniel, Malaya, and Janie covered it up. Yeah, that's fine, Kim. You can come in here and mingle. I'm picking up what you're putting down. You're going to have to run your opinion by the security guard, the cop in training. He's not even that. Former security guard. No wonder... What are you saying, Moosey? No wonder Jack didn't get on with Daniel. He could smell bullshit. Well, yeah, that and amongst other things. Think about how unstable old Daniel is. Especially around two children who he resents right from the start. You can see it. It comes across in the pictures. Especially the one of them in front of the Christmas tree. To give it a little Christmas feel. Daniel looks like he's holding like the creature from Alien in his hands. Yeah, pretty much, Cool J. There's an overabundance of them. DT claims Wong is going through trash to support his rug habit. Come on. Yet pats Danny Boy on the back for being a tweaker. Yeah, Ginger Snap. Well, that's what they do. These chomos stick together. Game recognized game in this sense.
Immediately. They send an email and the first media outlet that came out with it had to do an edit on it, and that's the one that we found. And then I even told Daniel, I was like, look, dude,
shut the hell up.
The Mail, I think it was a Global Mail, or maybe it was a CBC. I was like, look, they posted this out there that you committed this driving, you were driving around, that you had your lights on, that you were lying, and that you were over there by the blanket situation. Now, it's been determined that they lied. The RCMP has come forward.
It's been determined that they lied. That's straight fabrication. How stupid can you actually be? Danny J Hernandez? DJ. What a fucking retard. Dude.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
And say that it's not true. And so I told Daniel this, and he's like, I was like, dude, these people aren't your friends, man. If they're doing this to you and not putting in the right information after the fact, I wouldn't trust them. And then 2 days later,
like, that's his biggest fucking worry at the moment. This guy is fucking on one, dude. Hey, Danny J.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
I don't know if he told them something or whatnot, but 2 days later, the big title was RCMP disputes what Bradley Wong and Justin Smith say. And they go on there that they were emailed immediately. So these guys, RCMP jumped on it to say that information is false. And so you may need to question if there's some people that are still sticking with that information, even though
how long can a guy go on about something that's just fucking so wrong and you just made up? You can't get through that in a more concise manner. He just blathers on and on and on about it, dude. Daniel's resentment of the children was so evident in the birthday party video. That creepy stare. Oh, dude. All different kinds of colors he is. Fucking hardcore tweaker. It's okay. Listen, don't you know that Daniel can handle it? Daniel's done it every day for years. You imagine bragging about such a thing? Trying to convince somebody that it's okay? Hey, don't worry, it's okay. Especially a chick that you're trying to pick up. It shows you that he's got no shit. He's got a problem with other things in the background as well. And it's shutting his fucking yap. Everything that he's doing is going to be used against him in the court of law. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do, Danny's? Both of you Danny's. Yeah, well, we don't feel the same. Brad Wong and Justin Smith are fantastic individuals who did the right thing. Everybody knows that. This asshole's talking about it like he knows the situation, and he couldn't even be further from the fucking truth. So the question is what's your agenda? And then what else? Daniel's queefing will turn DT and cellmates on. That's nasty. You're nasty. Bradley Wong was so pissed off with what DT was accusing him of. I thought if he could reach through the screen and do him. Oh, geez. Daniel's pickup line, but Malaya claims she didn't know until went into labor. Yeah, right. Well, it's not... Listen, friends. It's not whether or not the statement or how much you believe the statement. It's let's analyze that little chunk of information that she communicated. She acknowledged that Daniel is a hardcore drug user in that statement. That's all that's important to this scenario. Oh, wow, you're a hardcore drug user. Let me just put all my fucking trust in you right now, and I'll believe everything that you say. Is that usually how life goes? I don't think so. Especially to a cop, especially to a major crimes investigator. You didn't have to call him and get him out of bed to tell him that news.
Even though the police have said that it's false, what their narrative is to continue to stick to that false information.
Now, I can understand people who get confused when they hear information and they misinterpret the information. But that's not what this guy is doing. He has twisted the information to suit his narrative. And you will note how long it took him to push this narrative, because he was really trying to sell it. So he is claiming that the media outlets came out with the information from the documents, but he's left that bit of information out, and that it's been determined that they lied, and that RCMP were on top of it straight away and sent out an email saying this information is false. So for anyone who may be a little bit confused here, first of all, the information directly came from documents provided by the RCMP. But regardless of that, on what planet is the RCMP going to email a media outlet and say, hey, you've got to do a redaction, that information is false? It just does not work that way at all. The RCMP don't have time to be sitting and emailing people who are putting out false information. And when it's information that's come directly from their own documents, why are they going to bother? Because if that information has not been redacted, that means that information has been made available for the public to find out. But like I said, on what planet is the RCMP going to be emailing journalists and saying, hey, I didn't like your article, can you change it? And I will discuss that further later on in this video. Now, there are instances with cases where if you've followed a case long enough, you might be thinking, I know I read this bit of information, and you go looking for it and it's not there. Because sometimes information is leaked early on in a case, and it may be information that is going to be crucial for getting a conviction, in which case, yes, then the media outlet will be requested to remove the information. A classic example of that, for anyone who followed the Delphi case, in the first probably 6 weeks.
Take the time right now, good to see you, Wolfie, to hit the link that's pinned to the top of your live chat and go over and make sure that you're subscribed to Ninchi's True Crime if you're not already. She does good work when it comes to the situation with Jack and Lily. I'll wait until you get back. What's going on, Carol? What are you saying? Yeah, Broken Goth Doll, I know there were jokes that he was a mall cop. He's not even a mall cop. That would insinuate that he was an officer of the law, and he is not. And evidently, he was a security guard at a mall. That's different than a mall cop. Freaking security guard, not a peace officer, not someone who runs in the line of fire. He probably is a security guard at a gay porno fucking shop. Is that what it is? That's probably what it is. He's one of those dudes in the mall who stands within, to make sure that the laws are enforced at the porno section of your video store. Lost his job when the last Blockbuster was closed.
So there was information leaked about how the girls were positioned, about how the girls died, and very specifically with regards to Libby in terms...
Again, it's not what the dude does, as funny as it is. It's not what it is that he does, it's how he misrepresented himself in effort to try to convince a larger group of people of something that wasn't true so that you trusted him even more. That's the type of thing that chomos do, bro. It's the type of thing that security guards and fake security guards, old ex-security guards do at the mall. And here you are up on the internet doing this on behalf of a child unaliver. How does that feel? That's what you've uncovered. That's what the old drunk turkey is, the drinking turkey. He's a chomo. Prove me wrong.
Of what she was or wasn't wearing, in terms of how she died.
Walks like a duck, talks like a duck.
However, that information was not meant to have been released. That information was put out there by someone who had been on the search team that found the girls. So that information got hidden again. And what you had was media saying, well, we haven't been told what weapon was used. We haven't been told how the girls were found.
We got the badge here.
Official badge.
And then
oh, this is the Nilk Boys fake mall cop prank. I'm searching the YouTubes to see what you gonna run around on a Segway. He wasn't even this good.
in and out, boys. Ready, Nana? Excuse me. No sunglasses in the mall. No sunglasses in the mall.
No sunglasses in the mall.
Sunglasses. There you go.
What's going on over here? I got some reports that you're getting a little low with your hands on the massage table. One of the customers reported that you were getting like a little handsy with the hands.
I want to work right now.
No, I know. I just got a call. Guys, I think we have a 77412. This masseuse guy's trying to dart some mitt right now, so we might need
These
some
are the types of things, of course, that Drunken Turkey would have been doing. I'm probably triggering him right now. Bringing flashback of all of these old traumatic memories from his interactions.
back up here. No, yeah, he's actually trying to dart her mitt. I think he's going for like 3 fingers, so. Everything's okay, though?
Any news about the 2 guests?
I never really heard nothing.
Never heard anything?
They don't say too much.
Oh.
It's only that boy that did it. I still say the boy.
The Daniel Mattel, the
He's
stepfather.
on meth.
He's on meth.
He sells meth. And he makes it. And he don't like the kids.
And he doesn't like the kids. I wonder what would make Wade say that. But I'm pretty sure he's not making it up. Brandy Lindy. What are you saying in my chat? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. When old Sonny introduced DT on her panel, she said he was a cop and he did not clarify or stop her. Apparently, they've been friends for years, but old drunk turkey talks so bad about her now. You're starting drama in my chat. Well, geez. Well, gee whiz. What's going on, Chelsea? Welcome in. Oh, Explore Corps. You know the funniest fake cop is that traffic cop, that bike cop who runs that private security firm that was on the Dr. Phil show. What's his name? Who screams at dudes driving down the road on his dirt bike. He provides services like funerals and things like that. He loves to throw his heavies around. But he's been arrested a few times. I can't remember his name at this point in time. Yeah. I think it's beyond that, Brandy Lindy. Well, you don't have to apologize. But I appreciate that perspective. There's another one, too, about him talking about it on his own channel. We were just talking about it a little earlier, but I forget. I forget already. Every time I ask the Turkey Man for his background in law enforcement, I never get a response, says Squid Malay. Well, I just gave it to you. That mall in Austin, Texas. Barton. Carol Johansson, you're bringing the tea today. You think Janie, heard a tremendous row when Malaya was trying to leave and physically occupied with Meadow. Daniel had physical control of the children and caused lethal harm. Janie heard it, stayed inside. Interesting. Yep. It definitely is a possibility. It's the strongest possibility. Not the only one, but they all look about the same. Whatever it is, without a doubt, most people believe that he's criminally responsible at this point. That's all we really need to know. We need to focus on being able to prove that he's lying, which shouldn't be very difficult. Christ, we do that on the daily here on YouTube, and we're not even a part of the investigation. Because the difference is that old Danny loves to come to the internet and be that gatekeeper. Law enforcement, if you knew what they knew, you could accurately scope it out 100% of the time. But Well, Danny Boy's not worried about that too much. That won't be the only thing. It's obvious that he's omitting to an extreme degree, to the point where he's trying to convince people that there's nothing worth remembering during a very important time. A very important time frame. Oh, don't worry. We'll just leave that part blank because there's nothing worth remembering. That's like leaving that little answer section blank. You know, when you're in a test and you don't answer the question and putting it back on them saying, well, you still should get full marks for that. You still get a pass. But this is a blank piece of paper. There's no answers on it. And you have to show me your answers. You have to be able to explain it. And there's nothing that Daniel is going to be able to explain when it comes to his bullshit narrative. The one thing that is going to save this situation is how separated Malaya is going to be from him. And it scares him, and he acknowledges that loosely. In an indirect manner, of course. They're no longer able to cooperate to any degree. Their cooperation was only that instant in time, and then they were separated. She left, blocked him on everything. Well, it would be nice if you filled in the blanks, but the blanks will be filled in and they will speak for themselves in front of a jury of two, and it will be to prove whether or not you were indeed lying or not. That's all that you're going to need at this point in time, and that's going to take some, or could take some time. You never exactly know. We're talking about a no-body prosecution. Somebody has to be accountable in this circumstance, and they're not buying the story. They're not accepting your story as remotely true. Quite the opposite. Yeah, you got that right, Meredith. D&M constantly victim blame the kids and the sound and the door, etc. Never take any accountability. No, it's all centric around this fabricated narrative that allows them to put the blame back onto the victims. And you cannot put the blame, not just in this circumstance or any time, but it's so absurd to think that they believe that in a sub-zero freezing degree spring morning that kids of any age, especially that young age, are going to put on nothing but their boots and God knows what clothing and walk out on their own and never be seen again. That's ridiculous. In the middle of nowhere. That's absurd. Yet, that's what they insist happened. There's an absolute 0% chance of that happening. It doesn't matter what kind of kid, how mature he is at any age, or she. Kids need the same thing when they're that age. They're mini humans. They need food, they need warmth, and cartoons, etc. Toys, all that. That's secondary. They're not going to go very far away from what they would otherwise require. And it's always food-centric. No mention of food at any point in time. We sit here and describe the sandwiches I eat into more detail. I've got some spaghetti on my stove, by the way, right now. But it's not really spaghetti. It's like a homemade hamburger helper. I won't distract. Excuse me. Janie speaks of talking to Jack about worms as he was looking under a board MCM, not that day. Then she steps around the corner to her driveway to rake. Also says she heard D yelling at the kids. Janie hears everything that goes on around there. It would be impossible not to hear everything where they're located. It's not like you live in a well-insulated home. Your walls are paper thin. You hear everything that goes on around you. And it's living in the car. She's already out in the driveway. You've got like a sentry 24/7 out there, living in the driveway, on guard. She's like a security guard, like Drunk Turkey was for 8 years. With the dog. Meaning that when she's sleeping, the dog's on high alert. Well, they said the only time they really mentioned that, you're right, is when they were out. Squid, you're right. They don't even remember what or when, if the kids even ate. Maybe a bagel on the way home. They don't quite know. I don't know. But what it tells you is that it's not on a high priority list. Especially Daniel's. His appetite would have been so suppressed.
Beats the kids and beats her daughter.
That's what I'm
But her
saying.
daughter might know more than you saying. I said your daughter.
So there's the first acknowledgement of there being not just physical violence or a rumor of, but he's speaking as though, well, straight up saying it. He's talking about Daniel beating Malaya right there. So it's obviously fairly well known and out there. How long have they known that? And really put that in perspective with the timeline that we're building around Jack and Lily in the months leading up to it in their home environment. We'll look at it right back to 2 years. It's always been an issue. Why? Because the substances that Daniel claims to do every day that don't affect him because he's just a superstar and he's okay on them. Which is ridiculous. What a silly thing to say. It's his way of detaching and dismissing and separating himself from all of the damage that he's done. And it does. Most importantly, it shows you that he doesn't acknowledge. He doesn't register. And there's a lot of that going on in this situation with him. It's very rare that he's even talking directly to a question without misinterpreting it and talking about something completely obtuse or eccentric from what the point was. Well, think about that morning now, Moosey. Think about old Janie attacking. Who was it that was in the driveway that recognized just how messed up Daniel was and said something about him because old Daniel's known to be violent, like Wade was pointing out. This isn't the first time. Obviously, she put 2 and 2 together. Our name escapes me right now. Anyway. But Janie physically attacked her in the driveway. Boy, that's not going to stick out like a sore thumb to investigators. I wonder what that's all about. You don't have to rely on their... Haley, thank you. You don't have to rely on their answers or expect them to be honest. You know. Daniel's so standoffish those first couple of days. Look at how sketched out he was in front of the camera. An individual would have been, if this was a legitimate situation, you would have been able to tell within minutes what was, what wasn't. He didn't mention the kids' coats whatsoever. Hold on. Where is that? Not fake mall cops. Let me go back.
Pool. That's what I was doing. I was leveling out the ground to set up the pool.
And this is the Thursday.
This is Thursday.
Right.
Right here in this area here. I plan on putting a pool up this year for the kids.
What the hell does any of that have to do with where Jack and Lily are and what happened to them, honey? Who are you talking about, Carol? Hold on there. I missed that comment. Let me read this for a moment. Carol, you're saying there's no sleep nor desire for food. Yeah, you're right. When you're on the mathematics, my former husband was a heavy user. Lucky you. He later developed narcolepsy from destroying his adrenal gland. He was incarcerated for 30 years. Oh my God. He kidnapped a woman, her 16-year-old daughter who had a 4-year-old son, left the mother for dead. Oh my gosh, tied with the jumper cables. And she escaped, thank God. He got the young girl to lie for him. Holy mackerel. That's mind-blowing, Carol. They witnessed... Whoops. The young girl got a 6-year sentence, and he got 22 years on attempted red rum. He should have gotten his 3rd strike as a violent offender, but he witnessed, tampered, and got this girl to lie, losing her son. Oh my gosh. Holy mackerel. Jeannie gives no care about what happened to Jack or Lily as long as it doesn't come back on her. She never accepted those children, much less loved them, cared about them at all. It's disgusting. I agree in that sense. Well, you can't do much about it other than stand in awe at this point in time. Like, there's nothing that you can do to change that. It's hard to watch. It's very hard to watch because you know everything is wrong with it. You know, you don't need to look too closely. It's not about the words. It's the topic. It's what it is that she's trying to say or what she's avoiding saying. And when you're in a situation like this, it doesn't look very good. Like, she's trying to get across and convince you about something that would goes without saying that's going to make you feel that somehow she's not involved with whatever happened to Jack and Lily. That's what's going without saying here. Or else she wouldn't have the need to be telling us all about this bullshit story about something that isn't. There's no pool there. There's nothing there. Nobody cares about what you were intending to do when. This is how a liar bullshits you, and she'll even put in, I was putting in this pool for the kids, as at an attempt to try to make it look like she was looking out for them or was in a role of counsel for them. She was in a parental role.
You need level ground for a pool. That's what I was doing. I was leveling out the ground to set up the pool.
And this is the Thursday.
This is Thursday.
Right.
Friday, all the investigators, search and rescue and everything, right around here was where they found the only footprint.
This is where the boot.
This is where.
Now, it's funny that she brings up this bullshit claim about what she was out there doing with the rake. It doesn't matter that the pool's there or not when you look at screenshots like this. Because take a good look about what it is that they're doing around there anyway. They're tearing down they're ripping back the ground. Remember there used to be a hill there? You see all the dirt? That's dirt that's been pulled down and leveled out. Whether it's been with a rake, it's probably looks like it's a continuous thing. There's a big mound of dirt in the background, but they're bringing it down and building up grade. Okay? So she's not really lying. That's kind of what they're doing on a large scale right there, right? But the fact that she's putting in the fact that they're now going to put a pool in there is a bit of a stretch and unnecessary information. Why would you even need to say that? You don't, but it's just one of those things. Not one of those things to dismiss. It's just another example. Of course it's on her mind. She sits out there in a fucking RV. It's probably not perfectly level. She obsesses over it. Oh, every time it rains.
You must know what happens. Only 3 people in the thing.
Exactly.
We had to do polygraph and everything.
You did a polygraph too?
Yeah, because we used to drop the kids off over there.
So you and Cindy and
her mother, because her mother was in the house before, and some of her cousins, they had to do polygraph.
Is the mother living here right now or not?
No, she was. And she lives in. We took the mother because we found out that he's on drugs.
He's unmasked, yeah.
And meth, and they beat her, so we took her over there. He was here, and then the CPS. The CPS went to their house in December, and they should have took the kids out of there. Like, look at the look of the house.
Yeah.
They get the locks on the door,
the house
and the boy beat her, this and that. But why'd she stay there? That's what I told her.
I saw the house of Daniel and Malaya, and I saw this house, and I understand why she come here. She moved out the next day.
No, she could have went to her grandmother's in Bob Hill. You know how many times we tried to... She was at their grandmother's before they went there. Dan and her. He got 2 from a previous marriage. And those 2 that are missing are hers. Then they got the little girl together. And he didn't like her kids at all. But she said they beat them.
You just tried it, man.
But she got a psychic that says they're still alive. But if they ain't, I still say it's a guy.
You know, it's so funny. I heard something.
They are in the woods, but they're probably buried, like way over towards, like say Muscadal, but they're probably way the fuck over that.
You think it's by Daniel and Malaya or his family?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust him, man.
No, they all look fucking crazy.
He lies all the time. He's changing his story all the time.
Yeah, how you know what they're wearing? You didn't see it.
Huh?
How would you know what they had on?
Exactly.
And you never saw them.
Yeah.
And she's lying too. I don't trust her dog.
They even say that you guys did it. You know what they're saying right now online? They say you guys did it.
No, I wouldn't.
They say the mothers and the grandmothers hide those kids, for those kids in the woods somewhere like a reserve.
If I had to, no, Yeah. She's getting the baby back. She went to the reserve, right? Because her grandmother lives over there.
Oh.
They had the baby there. Then the police came, took the baby. Because she took the baby to Huey. She wasn't closer.
So she's living in the reserve right now.
Right now she's living in the reserve with the chief. That's her cousin.
Oh, the one in the...
I'm related to the chief too.
Suvanati?
Say it again. Yep, Suvanati. Yep.
Oh, that's where she's living right now.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
I don't know. This is these negative energy.
It is, man.
I never did like being around. I know them. But why would you stay there? This guy's beating your kid.
I know.
You get one of them today? Look at the dirty fucking house. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I might stay one night and I say,
I know, brother.
We can't live here. And 3 months ago, we told her, before that happened, I'll say 3 months before May, we had the U-Haul truck to move her back to her grandmother's house. She had a big house by Redcliffe and Bible Hill. The day before, no, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
Why do you want to stay here? There's rats in the walls.
Exactly. I've been to that place many times, man. I know that place is not suitable for humans.
You know.
I don't understand. Maybe he was...
Now she's trying to sue the CPS. The CPS should have took the kids out. This was in December. And plus, why would she stay there? If someone's beating my kids, I'm breaking their fucking arms.
Exactly. I would do the same, brother.
So I guess it's important to talk about and say that if we're going to believe Wade, from his interpretation of things, it sounds like the violence between Daniel and the kids have gone on for quite some time. Negative energy of bad vibe. Wade is no fool. And even if he hadn't heard what had happened there, he could feel the evil surrounding that area that was caused by the people, not the area. Well, think about it from his perspective, already going over there knowing full well about the history. All of a sudden, believe me, he knows, and he had a feeling. Like, why would these individuals feel the need? Instead, they put more effort into trying to round up their family and friends to come over and traumatize them in an attempt to convince them of their bullshit story, in that sense, about the kids just wandering out the door. And shouldn't you have gotten your children at that point in time? Like, you've got better things to do, especially if you've actually been victimized. And no, Daniel, it has nothing to do with traveling all around looking in ditches with your phone, avoiding everybody for hours and hours and hours on end. What are you saying, Carol? It was my first suspicion that Malaya stayed with her dealer. Well, Daniel could possibly be that dealer, but upon further inspection, I believe she was threatened. That Meadow could not leave with her, and Daniel had more muscle. Janie leaked that. Yeah, that's definitely worth talking about and worth speculating over. You're in it in the right area. Like, there is definitely some difficulties with Meadow and Daniel's controlling nature with it's a different story. That's his property now. He sees that child as very different than the other ones that are in his house. You believe Wade and the neighbors, Kim? So do I. Absolutely. When all of that, just from what's out here publicly available, is so strong. Such a strong story to contradict the narrative when it comes to the unfortunate fate of Jack and Lily in the circumstance. This is what happened. Yeah, Malaya should have left in December, Miss K. Mary, I think most of us felt that negative energy the moment this case broke, and it took days for even recent photos of the kids to come out. Yeah, there is some early warning signs. Think about what you know now about the situation and how it should give you a better understanding as to how they were feeling and reacting in the moment from their perspective. They're shitting their pants. But this is calculated. This goes far beyond, like, think about to the extent that Danny goes to trying to make himself out to look innocent. Almost in anticipation for what could possibly come down the road. Why would he be worried about something like that? He's been signaling that since the get-go. Remember the sweaters and things like that? And yeah, he misrepresented the blanket story, of course. The fact that we just saw another example of his deception lies happen in real time. Recognize what it is when you see it. She said if Malaya wanted to leave, that Daniel wouldn't let her. You mean Janie? So sometimes you got to not worry so much about what it is that they say, but why it is that they're saying it. You know, you take those words and why is it important that this individual is bringing this up? And that's an example, I think, right there. Janie acknowledging that there was conflict within the home. You know, she brought it up as a topic. Now, whether that was solely based off of a question that was brought up to her or she did it voluntarily, she's talked about it. And how she wouldn't allow Danny boy to be controlling in that sense. Nobody believes that shit. She's got no power. Fuck, she get the hell out of Dodge. She's out in the RV in the driveway. She's out in the driveway probably because she's terrified of Daniel at some level. She's terrified of her own son in this sense. Oh, Rondaroo, welcome to Customer Darling. Thank you very much for joining up. And God bless you, Carol. God bless Jack and Lily. Thank you. That's very generous of you, darling. I appreciate that very much. Malaya knew that she couldn't leave with Meadow, and she would have had to fight Daniel and his whole family for custody. It makes sense why they would come out making her look like a bad mother. Yeah, that all makes sense in that sense, Ginger. They are thinking about Meadow. It's their only lifeline to government money. I don't think it has anything to do with ego and control in that sense. These individuals, the last thing that they should be doing is raising kids. You can see that. You can see they don't want to. What's the hell? You don't need to do any more convincing. You don't need any more of an extreme example than what's happened here. And no, your best friend Logan from down the road isn't going to be taking any of the fresh babies. There's no place for kids. If it was that simple, she could have just went to Janie's, but how would that have worked? Janie's just such a stable soldier. I don't think she's exactly the mothering type. She's more the type that eats kids. The kids had to have been terrified about her. She's a terrifying individual. To a kid, I would have been terrified of that old biatch. You know that she's out to get you. You know that look. I've seen enough Scooby-Doo episodes. I've seen enough Tom and Jerry. Let's see. Janie is an enabler. It seems so. She is now, definitely. You can definitely say that, no doubt. Although she does have some boundaries about letting Danny drive her ATV. And maybe she just has an unhealthy obsession with her ATV. She in the car. I'd say that Danny's so tweaked out, he's distracted and never doesn't pay attention behind the wheel till it's too late. It's a common thing with tweakers. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, friends. It's not going to hurt you. Yeah, she does have a nasty side, Miss K. Oh, and it comes out. It's there. I wonder what Daniel's ex-wife is thinking about all of this. Not in a come up and talk on my live stream type of way. That's a big mistake, in my opinion. I don't think people should be on live streams satisfying the thirst of random strangers in a live chat. I like an off, pre-recorded scenario. It's more comfortable in that sense. Belinda says that Earl is making the payments on the ATV. Oh, yeah? How does she know that? Because Earl's walking around bragging about it. Because he has to let everybody know just how much he's helping out around there. Carol's asking, what is it that made Janie bring the reporters there and actually say, I brought you here to show you where everything happened, what happened? It's an attempt to convince you of a story that's so important to them, which is completely the opposite thing that should be communicated in a scenario like this. It tells you their priorities, Carol, right? It should be all about something else, something other, like the kids, like what happened. It's not like this is what we think happened. Look at here. I came across this and here's how they got in and here's blood, and it would be a different looking scenario, a completely different scenario. But it's so important that she was so rattled by what people were speculating about online. She needed the CBC to come out, and she's trying to use this establishment to defend her. Because heaven forbid, that's their priority. They need to look like victims here. They need to be doing more of it. Oh, it was a fucking mistake bringing them out there. They don't see it that way because they're in a completely different situation. And there's a double entendre to that. Like, they're actively being deceptive. They're trying to get away with something. They need this story to be bought, especially in their own communities, especially to the RCMP, but it's so often so bizarre. It's a red flag upon red flag. Heaven's sakes. She gets them out there to go through what it is that she told the police, essentially, and remind everybody that she's not here to lie because, well, that's just how they lie. It's you can see the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Janie's just as much of a liar as Daniel is. And it's not just because they're compulsive liars. It's because they have a need in this circumstance to lie and get away with their or their culpability. Anybody with the right mind, any caring parent out there recognizes it. And they can't even pretend in the right way. They're not doing it right. They're not selling it because they can't. They can't escape reality. They're not very good. They're not great actors in that sense. Yo, Catherine McClure. Think about how far into it they are now, though. A lot of paperwork to do. They're coming up with new charges every day. But there's different stages to this too. There's what led up and caused what we are talking about being the death of Jack and Lily. 2 people. Okay? There's that aspect of this. Then we have to think about who knew at that point in time. We've got to get that information. And then there's everything after the fact. After the fact of what we suspect to be the red rum of 2 innocent children in this circumstance. They made a cognitive decision to work together, to conspire, and actively obstruct justice in that sense, to try to get away with what was probably first degree capital murder, double capital murder of a child on top of it all. Children. It doesn't get any worse than this. And Janie was a willing accessory after the fact. To not just corroborate and be a loose alibi, but she really went to great extents to try and beg people to believe her about the information that she really wasn't clear about delivering. She really never said anything. In fact, she avoided more than she talked about directly. Think about the reluctance and the avoidance around actually physically putting an eye on Jack and Lily. Nobody, not one of them in that household, really wanted to say that they visibly saw the kids at all. Just heard them, loosely heard them. Well, I'm sure, because it must be, open for error or interpretation, perhaps. But there's a reason for that. And there's all kinds of contradictions. It doesn't make sense to be up and call them in sick for school if you didn't already check on them and visibly interact with them and know that they weren't feeling well enough to go in the first place. If they're sick, why is it you're trucking them around Hell's Half Acre all fucking day with you and restricting them of their nourishment and rest? Well, they're trying to create plausible deniability. That's a fantastic thing to bring up. But the only problem is with all of that is that they're the suspects in all of this. When you have suspects trying to incorporate plausible deniability, that's a bit of a problem. It doesn't work. Especially at this stage of the game. Yeah, Carol, Janie is the one who always included Justin, her other son, in her defense, even when there were no accusations. They also preemptively slandered their neighbor. Oh yeah, right away. Well, we know what that's about now. We didn't at the time, right? We know what that's all about. That's all about the car sightings and the activity. They didn't even talk about it. They just allowed old Daniel to shake it off and call it absolute nonsense. Oh, I don't think so, baby. Oh, I don't think so. That it doesn't matter if there's cameras or not. You're lucky there's no fucking camera. They'd have your ass in prison at this point in time, you little bitch. Now they're just going to be character witnesses at your trial, which is going to be just as damaging to you. Because all 12 jurors are going to see the problem here. They're not going to have a problem. They're not going to have a problem seeing that everybody surrounding is lying. There's nothing to support. It doesn't even rhyme with what a normal day would look like for you tweakers. No, it's not about that, Ron. It's not about knowing where all the cameras are for sure. I don't think that that's even important, and it's not true. All is a pretty strong word. Daniel's stupid as fuck. And he's made countless mistakes. We all see it. And he continues to pretend and play innocent. And it's just going to be a matter of a little time, and they'll get the cuffs on this bitch. We're going to do this the hard way. Some fantastic law work. Hotshot Eastern Canadian prosecutors in Halifax are going to fucking toss him around like a beach ball, slam dunk him in the court of law. It's what they have to do. Believe me. Believe me. Believe me like drunk turkey. Let me see.
Where I was raking that night, that's where the boot print was found. In the mud where I was raking.
I thought there was two boot prints.
There was supposed to be a footprint found way up on the pipeline.
Right.
Malaya sent me the picture of it. That's all I know. There was a footprint found.
Okay.
But
why so defensive there, honey? Why so defensive, Janie?
I'm telling you, the footprint was here. The only one that they can confirm that was Lily and Jack's was right here.
So it was child size.
Yes, a man, one of the investigators came in here and was measuring it all. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to lie. The reason why I wanted you guys to come here and do the interview here is to show you exactly where everything took place. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to show people that this is what happened.
Yeah, she's overly sensitive about the state of the condition of the house, but among other things. Think about how poor of an attempt this is to relate to the greater audience, as though this was going to be some sort of vindicating interview for you. You're not even talking about Jack and Lily or what happened to them. You want to talk about what it is that you were doing and how logical it is in the moment. What the fuck does that have to do with anything in the circumstance? The answer is it doesn't.
All the stuff that people, all the rumors and accusations.
See? Her and Daniel have the same priorities, and they captured it beautifully on the CBC. I know we pay them for a reason. Fantastic production and editing. All the accusations and speculation online, they've got to stop. They're ruining lives out there. Oh, especially mine. Nothing says guilty. Somebody speculating online isn't going to change the state of reality. It's not worth focusing on at any one point in time. Janie, that's Janie's priority. That's Daniel's priority. They want to use the CBC to turn around and help them make it look like they're innocent in all of this somehow. But that's going to be impossible, considering that it's not their job. It's not their job to turn around and say, oh, you're innocent and guilty. Look at how logical this is. That's not the point. Truth in this scenario speaks for itself. In your behavior, language, well, that tells us all we need to know.
About us murdering the kids and burying them on the property. This place has been searched thoroughly. The well has been checked, the septic tank, all the barns have been searched. My RV.
So what does one have to do with the other? So there's red rumming the children and on your property. And you fly off into a tangent about all the places that they searched on your property, and that's what you're sensitive about? A little twist there. Sanitizing.
It was searched 3 times. The trailer was searched.
Yo, sweet tea.
This whole place was searched. If they want to come back and search again, they're more than welcome.
You've talked about drones flying over your property. You've talked about cars driving down the road and slowing down. What's that been like?
I'm scared to go out sometimes in my own property. I mostly stay around back here. And if I do go out front for anything, I usually have my head down because I don't want people to see who I am.
You live in the middle of nowhere? You got no neighbors. Couldn't be better. You live on a fucking Garlock Road. There's nobody around. The car might fly by every now and then. Who's she worried about seeing her? Well, I'm just afraid to go outside. Oh, what else? What else can I drum up here? I'm just a simple hermit type. Love to live in my driveway in a broken down old fucking RV.
That is me myself. It's not because I'm hiding from anybody. I don't like to be on camera. I don't like my picture taken. I'm just a quiet person that just wants to be left alone, and I mind my own business. I'm just a hermit.
Do you feel as if the finger has been pointed towards you and Daniel?
Yes, I do. Because I live on the property. Come on.
Do you think your son had anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily?
No, I don't believe Daniel had anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. Our heart don't lie, and my heart is telling me that my kid did not have nothing to do with this, and I had nothing to do with this. You know, if something bad happens, you get like your heart drops. Mine hasn't dropped. Deep down in my heart, I do believe Jack and Lily are alive. It's not because of what people are saying. It's my heart tells me that they are alive.
Yeah, it's not very trustworthy.
She should have told us anyway. She had told us he's on drugs or you beat the kids. They would have been here. You get what I'm saying? We would have took the kids ourselves.
Yeah.
So they get and the last time we seen them, they're over here Easter Monday.
Easter Monday.
That's the last time we saw
Daniel Malaya.
Even then, yep, the one. You better not come here now.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we're in the woods looking for stuff. Me, him, Jack, and his other son. Then he stayed in the woods for a whole hour by himself. I said, what the fuck are you guys doing? You crazy? So he probably doing drugs in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes he used to come to our house and Bible hell.
Yeah,
and he stayed outside all the time. His face was, somebody see the skin is like yellowish, green, and he's dying.
So here we have another example of Wade talking about how Daniel always avoids being around other people, like interacting as a family in that sense. He's always separating himself and alienating himself he's alienated by choice. He's alienating himself from the rest of the group. Getting high because he's high. Doesn't want to get sketched out in that sense. But this is going to be an example of and it's not just the only time when Wade's around, that'll be all the time. You can see it, probably it's representative in the paperwork already by how they walked into on CCTV, the Dollarama, and where was the place that they went grocery shopping? Not Walmart, maybe it was a Walmart, I can't remember now. But the next night that they mentioned seeing them on CCTV at 8 p.m. getting groceries. There was one person going in that was separated from the rest of the group, like Malaya and Daniel. So this is going to be a continuous stressor on Daniel. There's a power play going on. He's probably using all kinds of things against her, like he is in the public in this sense. Think about all of the shit that he's talked on Malaya. That's just an extension of what it was like probably to live around him. And the same things that he used against her, now he's trying to convince a greater amount of people who are willing to be manipulated in that sense in the public eye. to turn them against Malaya, just an extension of the type of abuse that she suffered while in the house. That she allowed herself to be manipulated by more times than not. Until Mom Cindy had to step in. Oh, thank you. Much love to you, Sweet Tea. Charity and I appreciate that very much, darling. Especially today. Fucking markets are down, baby.
I said he got to be on drugs or something.
Yeah. Thank you, Sweet Tea.
Every time he dropped the kids off, he was never there. And he probably wasn't even working. He wasn't working no once a week.
Yeah, he just dropped a bombshell like 2 days ago. He said there's black eyes on the Lilly 2 days before.
I showed the detectives some of the pictures because the boy looked like he's hard to get along. Her grandson, like you tell him to do something, he won't listen. So he might have got mad and grabbed him by the neck and broke his neck. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? He might have. I don't know.
But you can't, right? When the kids shoot at the same time.
Maybe the little girl witnessed it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
But our psychic says.
That's for sure.
Now, if we had the kids, we'd be $150,000 rich.
Exactly.
Plus, who's going to take grandkids?
Yeah, but you know what people say online?
Yeah.
It says that Daniel Malaya and Derwin. You know Derwin?
Miss K, you keep bringing that up like it's something that they can just snap their fingers and do. At some point, the person has to help themselves, no matter what it is. It seems to me that Cindy and Wade were on standby at any point in time to go pick her up and were actively encouraging her to move. Which this whole scenario had to have been a great stressor on the relationship that was ongoing and being taken out on the children. Just one of the factors. Not like we're talking about the only factor, but you bring these points up all the time without acknowledging the fact that the individual has to make that decision for them own. They're an adult. You can't force somebody into treatment or into a home and remove them from, like, nobody has that power in that sense. Malaya refused. So turn around and put that back on Malaya. Be upset at Malaya for that. Fuck, they were there ready to go with the U-Haul. It doesn't get any more obvious to me that they were trying to encourage her to leave. And what's Wade to do? Wade's just a step boyfriend.
The guy.
Darren's her cousin.
Darren is a cousin, right?
Her cousin.
Why the cousin is against her? Against her?
He told him off the other day. He said, "You know more than you say." She told him, "Don't call back here. You're weirdos. You're crazy."
He's the one on the side of Mattel. He's saying that the mother put him into reserve.
He's talking about Durwood calling over there, telling Cindy that she knows more than she's leading on. Think about how Durwood is acting early on in this case on behalf of the guilty parties in this sense. Like, what a fucking asshole. That's why people despise Durwood in this sense. Because now you're actively being a tool of intimidation towards witnesses in this particular scenario. That's a crime, Durwood. You're intimidating a witness. Why? Who? And what's the motive to get act on behalf of Janie when it's so blatantly obvious that something within that home had to have happened? A fool a mile away can see it, except you. What's your problem, Durwood?
No, they ain't never his or Darren's wife, I think, is related to
Darren's wife is related to
Darren, not Darren, or what's his name? Daniel.
Daniel.
He's related to Daniel's house. Same as the CPS, he knew that we were open reserve. See, how do you know? So he's probably related to somebody in the CPS. And we got a friend that works for like another children's aid. And there's no foul that she was there in December. We're suing them, and we're suing the people for a rat.
Fuck no.
Yeah, there's no foul that she was there. She went down. Now the house like that, I'm checking to see if there's food in the fridge. I'm checking see if there's locks on it.
It's just
had to use the lock. And Daniel's daughter, that she's like 8 or 9. Her name is Rain. She said Malaya locked him in the room.
Yeah, right.
You know more than that. I don't even like her around here. I never did like her.
Thank you so much, bro.
Yeah.
How about everything's going well, bro?
Yeah.
It's just one last thing, my friend.
Yeah, we'll bring her down, bro.
So, like everyone. Golden Retriever is a 5-10 dog, man. I used to have one myself, like
got down 2 years ago.
Really?
It was 14, and I don't know what happened. It kept throwing up, and then
14. I mean,
then his eyes kept going like this. And he had to suffer all day Sunday because there was nothing open. They had to put him down Monday. Sure. Yeah, his name was Kavai. I had a good.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest part of the problem, isn't it, Carol? You're sure that Malaya wasn't at all honest with the children's aid and knew if she had been, she could have lost custody of all 3 children. She likely didn't know that she would lose 2 of them right there. Well, that's how these things unfortunately happen, isn't it? You never anticipate it until the worst happens, and the worst case scenarios happened here. But again, it's not like Malaya's in the background trying to bring closure to this situation. It's not like she's in the background only talking to police, because if there was there was an open Malaya, there would be arrests already in that sense, in my opinion. She's making the cops work for it. Being dishonest, carrying on like nothing's ever happened, it seems. But you know, you're right. We don't know enough yet. I don't know enough yet. It seemed that way, but we could be interpreting it a certain way. Maybe conditions within that house was a lot worse than we could imagine from her perspective. You agree that Malaya made selfish, foolish, and ill-fated decisions to continue and lie and keep all 3 of the children in such dangerous, violent circumstances. I believe she was harmed physically. Well, that's what Wade is claiming. Well, you know, why not get the police involved in that sense? Because you probably come back, well, I don't know. I don't have the answers to that. Like, what does beating on me mean? Does it mean like twice a day, every day? Does it once is enough in that sense? But it doesn't sound like it was just a one-off. It was a way that he treated the children. And if Malaya is bringing it up to Patty and Cindy on the phone, she claims to talk to them on the daily, Wade overhears all of this. It consumes a lot of their conversation. And I would have to think that Wade is taking the cumulative effect of everything that he's heard, and he's expressing it this way. Yeah, she didn't get the police involved because she didn't want to lose custody of the kids for lying and hiding all of the violence for years in that sense, right? You don't believe that she felt she could fully physically escape. Possibility. It's definitely a possibility. Strong possibility. Like, it's the effects of the abuse in that sense. It's control through trauma. Danny Boy spoke all the resources used and wants the investigation to end. I think someone is guilting him. His lying expensive to law enforcement, taxpayer money. Do you know what? I think that the more you listen to Danny and go back and listen to the CBC reports, Danny Boy just parrots what he hears on the CBC, like he talks about what they talked about in the CBC. And uses that as his answers to questions personally with his one-on-one interviews. like whatever last night's or the most recent report was. He'll go and reiterate whatever was stated to make it look like he's trying to bring forward some sort of transparency and facts to everybody. Yeah, you can confess, but isn't he already confessing with all of this behavior? She's got a whole lot, meaning Janie's got a whole lot, Carol, to answer for at this point in time. She'll have her day. It's not like a scenario where they're just going to let it slide. She's important to the story because she's an alibi. This bullshit story needed coordination amongst the three individuals there. Yo, Tina.
Hear a car, somebody walking around, go crazy.
Yeah, especially putting down.
Now her dog, he's like his own blind when he's too white. Shih Tzu, he's like, I think he's 10. Yeah. When you get so blind, you might as well get fucking rid of
The
it.
Jack and Lily play with dogs.
Yep.
They play all the time. They're not scared of dogs.
Now her dog's crazy and it don't miss. Every time as soon as we hear that door, he's in the window. She's lying because she said it didn't bark. I never really listened to what she said yet.
Imagine when my dog passed away from a heat stroke, I was crying out there.
And then they had a cat up at the grandmother's, the kid. And we always had the two dogs, and they play with the dogs all the time.
Yeah.
So they're trying to say they don't know nothing about dogs.
Imagine last 2 kids. This must be tough. How's Malia doing right now? When was the last time you saw her?
Yesterday they came up.
Well, I think about that Ginger Snap. About how things changed after Meadow was born. You're saying, I have a feeling that Daniel started to truly reveal himself and his dislike for Lily and Jack when Meadow was born. I bet it was all downhill from there, just my opinion based on other DV cases. Well, it would make sense because, like it or not, for those of us who have been lucky enough to have babies come into our lives, you know exactly how much time they take, and they take up every minute of every hour of every day, and so should it. There's nothing wrong with that at all, especially up to the age of 18 plus months. That's okay. Why is it being used against Malaya in this circumstance? Because they're trying to put the blame onto her over what happened to Jack and Lily, kind of like they did in her real life. Because to them, as soon as, listen, it just goes with what I believe their opinion about how a female should be or what Malaya's role in the family should be. Well, just because you're taking up your time with Meadow and doing all of these things, you just birthed a kid, you still have 2 other ones to look after. So don't forget that. Whereas in a healthy environment, it would be incorporated in, and there's a two-way street. There's a lot of contribution by way of the father, and that he wasn't going to accept. He's not accepting any more responsibility than what he feels, the attention that he can give briefly to Meadow. Maybe he gets to hold her a couple times a day. He's not very hands-on with any of the kids in that sense. Not in the raising part, but in the unaliving part, yes, he is. He had a resentment towards them. There's no way Daniel spent any amount of time around the kids in that sense. Not enough to bond with them. Good to see you, Julia. What are you saying in my chat? I would never give her a free pass. It's just not a black and white issue with one answer as to why she would stay. Yeah, you're right. The better question is, why is she still lying? That's right. Surely she's got a frame now. Listen, she's got that hanging over her. That's why she's probably continuing to avoid, because that's the first thing she's going to have to be accountable for. At this point, they've already come out and disregarded what initial report they gave to the RCMP about the kids voluntarily walking out the door. Well, if that really happened, then they would still be out there and we would have found them by now. You would have found them in the moment. But that's not the real issue at hand here. They want to make a non-issue an issue here that they have no idea, and they're not doing a very good job at. The only thing that they've done is call the RCMP and reported their missing kids missing. And there's absolutely no evidence of anything happening. Red flag. Evidence of nothing is evidence. You'd like to think that she's lying to the public and put out the letter while privately working with the RCMP and letting Mackenzie's know that she is still carrying the narrative. No, that would never happen. No. I should never say never, but listen. This whole case is on a very thin wire. And it's all based upon, at this moment in time, the word of the parents. Here's the information that the parents have come forward with. So therefore, this is the situation in which we're going to speak to from the RCMP's perspective. Everybody recognizes that it doesn't make sense. But until that accumulation of all of the evidence phase really can go no farther, well, that's when they'll move. Because that's just the way that they do things. Now, if Malaya came out and told the truth and gave them a reason, then we'd really get somewhere. But the case is fluid, they say, and it's not going to depend on these little things. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. They'll proceed with the case against whoever they think they need to. In my opinion, it's Daniel. Maybe they'll include Malaya in with that as well. I would expect so. They can sort it out on the stand. You can plead down. Christine, I think it comes down to nobody ever thinks the worst is going to happen to them. Look with Daniel's mentality and his sheer dedication he has to abusing Pervitin for years and years on the daily. No wonder you're in the trailer with your mom. It's where all your monies went. Why does anyone stay so long in DV situations? Well, from the outside, it looks like a no-brainer, but it's difficult, right, when you're on the inside. Sometimes it takes a Cindy to come down and take you by the ear. That's what happened here. Cindy recognized that something was wrong. Like Cindy and Wade recognized that there's something wrong with Daniel and Janie to begin with. It had to have started when they moved back in with Janie, is my guess. And yeah, Meadow fits in with all of that as well. But they don't have a realistic outlook on what a healthy household looks like. How we're going to do this. There's not that level of communication internally. They're too busy scrolling Facebook and ordering shit off Temu. Well, these were false promises. Malaya had everything catered to her, and the problem with that is you create an adult child. They never learn or care to take care of themselves or their children. They don't grow up. Well, it could be a result of neglect to a degree in of itself. Who knows? We'll know eventually, the more we get to know. Well, thank you for being here there. Late, not you again. Yeah, eternal optimists, Miss K. People think it's going to get better, and it doesn't. It's because the other person's always, in that cycle of coercion, they're always trying to make it better in that sense. Promising, false promises. Oh, yeah, don't worry, I'll never do that again. I'll get the hell out of these relationships. It's better not even to be in one. You can't imagine Malaya wants to admit that the children are not alive. If she did, she would have to take a step into reality that she's partly responsible. Yeah, they have to get. Yeah, you're right. I don't think she's that type of person at this point in time. It doesn't sound like she's all much of an eager beaver in that sense. She's going to have to be motivated the old-fashioned way. A boot in the rectum, the proverbial boot in the rectum. I don't know about. I'm not willing to go that far, Christine, about her being a contributing factor to unaliving, like physically unaliving her kids. She doesn't seem like that type, and it's not usually in this circumstance. It's really not usually like that, although there's exceptions. But we don't have enough information to take us down that path necessarily. We don't have to because of the squeaky wheel being Daniel in that sense. Daniel's given us every reason to, the more we hear him go on and lie, the more we have reason to believe that he's solely responsible for all of this and he's on damage control. An innocent person doesn't have the need to go out here and interact in the way that he does. You have better things to do. You have better things to think about. Like where Jack and Lily are. That would probably be a step if that's what actually happened when she's incarcerated, Carol. But I'm not sure about all of that. She still has to physically absorb the information and accept it. Who knows yet? I'm still worried about what happened specifically to Jack and Lily. There's a few possibilities. Each one of those possibilities has Daniel involved with it. It just makes sense that she was made to go out and propagate this story in front of the cameras that day. And it was fabricated by an agreement between the owners of the property, Janie and Daniel. I would have to think that her raking has a lot to do with covering up evidence, so she was well aware of something that had to be dealt with. There's an emergency at hand, and she knew well what that emergency was. Absolutely she did. Just based off of not having all of the information that you can see that. And her lying and not coming forward is not going to be an obstruction charge that they're just going to be willing to drop. And at some point in the future, when you have them in a position when you're in a position of power over the suspects, that's when they'll probably find out what happened to the bodies. Don't expect that. We don't need to go and find Jack and Lily before we pursue any charges. We don't need that order of operations. It's just an accumulation phase when you're dealing with bullshit liars, because at that point, all you have to do to have a successful conviction is prove the fact that they were lying in the first place and the kids are no longer alive. And demonstrate it for a jury. And that wouldn't be very difficult, because we're all presented with the children couldn't have survived on their own. And if there was another vehicle involved, you have to close out that lead. You have to close out that possibility based upon whether it be observing over the right time periods of the reported disappearance by way of the suspects, the parents. You can disprove that. Again, working back into proving that the parents are lying. And they don't have to, we don't have to have any more information than that. That's the way the law is going to work. Because at the end of the day, you're in a position of protecting these children. Especially with children. Like, listen, man. They don't feel bad at all that these kids have gone missing from their home. How devastating that would be. How you'd be a roller coaster of every emotion at any one point in time. And they're disassociated from this tragedy. Old Janie doesn't like to go outside anymore. Look, you don't like to be seen out there because you don't like to be known living in the fucking RV, that broken down piece of shit in your driveway. That's embarrassing. But something tells me you don't really give a shit what other people think in the first place, Janie. I don't believe any of that. Don't believe that it's affecting you. Not in the way that you lead on. It's affecting your cognitive load, I have no doubt. She desperately needs the speculation to simmer down. People need to stop, being suspicious of them, of having any involvement in all of this, because it's affecting their mental health. Well, it wouldn't affect your mental health if you weren't guilty in the first place. That's what they call guilt, you two. If you weren't guilty of something, you would have no awareness of it in the first place to be upset over it. But you're so ultra sensitive over all of the things people speculated about, but it all comes back to one thing. You. Blaming other people for not believing your bullshit story. That's what it comes down to, and that's just a non-conditional. You can't go back on that. Again, you don't have the need to do that. MSK, you believe that she was in a codependent rug relationship with Daniel. That's why she allowed her kids to be beaten. That's a strong possibility, unfortunately. They really admitted it. Now, I don't know 100% about Malaya, but it would seem so. I agree with you. Daniel, for sure, absolutely.
Yesterday she was here.
You know what she said. You know what I'm saying? Jeez. I know, it just seems like she's sad. I don't know.
She's not sad, right?
Yeah, it don't seem like it is. I told you, and I told her, I asked, when Daniel got mad, what did he do? Did he hit them? Did he...
So she never cries in front of you, or she never show any sadness?
Yeah, she doesn't cry.
She doesn't cry?
I think she knows what happened, but she ain't saying that.
She knows what happened?
Smoke?
Sure, yeah. I love it.
You were in the Melbrook?
You know, when we hear these things, I think our minds automatically jump to when we picture Daniel and the situation of DV within the house. We think of the worst case scenario, like a drop down slobber knocker in that sense, where fists are flying and fists of fury going on. It's probably not a lot like that when it comes to the kids. It could be rough treatment. It could be the attitude in which the parent engages them with, and more of an abusive tone, verbal abuse, like hence that voice that the kids would listen to. Usually get that through yelling and verbal threats and things like that. But, you know, grabbing and throwing and pushing and twisting and grabbing by the arms and just rough treatment in an unloving manner in that sense. You can see a bit of that in the pictures where you see them all together, especially around Christmas in front of the tree. Like there's a certain part of there's Daniel looking extremely awkward, you know, holding the children in that sense, where, you know, you're supposed to be badly in love and you know, everybody's can understand a bad photo every now and then, but in this circumstance, I hold it against him. Like you stand out. It doesn't look like you're very enthusiastic about being their step parents in that sense. Especially with Christmas, it should be all about the children. But it shows you that Daniel doesn't care much about the real parts of building a family. He's only concerned about the appearance and his own needs being met.
Oh, you mean is the Malaya leaving the reserve or is another one super lucky?
She's staying there because we're giving her a house now.
Oh, she's getting a new house over there.
Yeah. That's where she's from, no, because her dad's from India.
Oh, her grandma.
The kids ain't over there because I was over there.
Her grandma is in Sudanati.
Yep.
And she's with her grandma right now.
And I'm related. Trying to look if I'm related. And she lives with the chief.
She lives with the chief?
Her name is Michelle McDonald Glasgow.
She's living with the chief right now.
She's living with her.
Wow.
She got like a house on beside her, like an apartment.
Do you know what the house looks like?
I never wasn't at her. We're related to the chief somehow. But most of the...
How come she's living with the chief right now? Is she related to the chief?
You get the daughter back. She ain't allowed to stay here. For some reason. You can't... And plus, I told her she's looking for work and stuff. I said, you're looking for work? I said, who's babysitting? I ain't babysitting. You get what I'm saying? She's looking for work. You didn't want to take care of it. Your little daughter, she's a year and a half. Yeah. So you take care of her. I know I ain't taking care of her. I'll watch her once in a while, but I ain't going to babysit. You better hire a babysitter or take the baby to your great-grandmother and drop her off because I definitely need.
Yeah.
I like kids in there.
It's a little bizarre right now to start talking about, like, think about everything that's happened in Malaya's life. You're leaving your old man. You got all of these kids and a new, like a 15-month, 16-month-old baby. It's going to be extremely difficult for you to drop that and go out to work, especially raise money and go and turn it around and pay $1,200 a month in childcare expenses. Like, I don't know exactly how you're going to do all of this without relying on family to babysit for you in that sense. Which, if you have that, consider yourself extremely lucky. But old Wade was letting her know that he wasn't going to be the babysitter. Oh, thank you.
Plus, you don't say hi or nothing. Sometimes you say hi.
Sometimes
you get a happy Father's Day. I know. You get what I'm saying? You hang up in your nose.
You mean Malaya?
I call her, see how the kids are. But she never. When we had the kids, they never really showed no signs. Like you could tell they're emotionally with me. So sometimes I'll reach by, like Lily's head. Like she'll rub my head, and I go to touch her. Then she'll put her hands up. That means,
really?
That means somebody slapped me.
Who, Malia?
Probably. Could be her, could be the other guy. Probably both of them.
Oh, you mean the kids? Oh, you mean the 2 kids? If you put hand close to the head, it's going to be like a avoid.
Yeah, they're showing off, like rubbing her hair because he rubbed.
Maybe Daniel's ex-wife will be a surprise witness at this trial. Character witness.
Malaya.
Malaya, okay.
Jack, he was full of anger. You see why?
Yeah.
And his other
Yes, he would.
I think he gets him to beat Jack. His name's Arlo, and I think he's sick. And he's thick and he's violent.
I know that.
So he probably gets him to beat Jack.
Justin, right? Another guy named Justin. Justin is the brother of Daniel Martel.
We never seen the brother ever before. He came to the house when they were missing. The mother, she never ever talked to us. She didn't say hi or fuck off. She came, like when they were missing, they come into the house. But we never seen them ever before that. And the father, he came to the house too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the father kept going up in the woods and right beside us.
I know. Actually,
there's something fishy.
Yeah.
But where they were looking, they're probably like 10 miles in the fucking woods.
So what that would suggest to me, Wade's just simply pointing out how bizarre it was that Janie and Justin and Earl all came over and stopped by and came in their house. They've never met him before, never seen them before. Old Janie never even said hi to them before in this sense. He could just sense something was off, something's fishy, something's up. And that would suggest to me that at that point in time, they're all well knowing that and actively covering up for one another or covering up for Daniel or what actually happened to Jack and Lily. Like you're coming over, you don't talk. It's not legitimate. Like there's a reason why you all came as a family over here. And that's for what? What, to try to convince us that there's an emergency, Jack or Lily are missing, and you've got to make it look like you're searching? No, it goes far beyond that. They're manipulating.
If they ain't alive, they're buried way in the woods. Like towards, like Muscatava, there's all these back roads, and there's a train tracks right there, so the train station probably used to go there. Like she heard it.
That's why what people are saying. You saw the pictures of Daniel Martel and his brother was on the ATV.
Yeah, they never had that before.
Everything was.
I never seen that ATV before.
Yeah, before everything in this place is kind of messy, but just the ATV is so fucking clean.
I wonder how far they searched. I wonder if they searched about from here to the end here. This road goes way down, probably 3 miles.
But the thing is, why? If Malia, she saw something. She must saw something. Her story was same as Daniel Martel.
Yeah.
Why she don't come out and say something right now?
Why you around it? You just fucking.
And I saw a picture the other day. Malia, she was on the beach with her friend. You saw that picture?
She goes to the beach every day.
She goes to the beach every day?
Yeah, just like it's nothing.
Do you think she actually has the kid?
No, he don't have them. Somebody got him or they killed him.
Have you ever been to her place in the Suvanati? No. You never been there?
Not at the grandmother's. I used to hang with her dad like a long time ago. But it was crazy on the reserve at night.
Yeah, you don't want to go there, man.
I don't want to be a cop. I
can probably go there. People are going to think I'm a native too. I'll be free.
My great-great-great-grandmother was full Mittenock. And I'm related to him.
My friend. Yeah.
Now get this here. You heard of East Preston?
East Preston? No.
Yeah, Lester, good to see you.
East Preston? No. Juvenile Reserve used to be there. Mm-hmm. It's all areas, all so-called black people. Get what I mean? Yeah. So they took the lighter-skinned people and put them in the juvenile. And there's Brooksy. She's a Brooks. She can get her card so she can get money, a house. And if Brooklyn ain't Preston, they'll get any money.
Yeah, man.
They won't register them for him. I can't even get registered. And my great-great-great-girl is Paul McNair. And she's from, it's called Fort Foley Reserve. You go to Sackville, New Brunswick, and you go way down towards Georgia. Most of the so-called bad are mixed match. Same people, different names. They can't get the word.
Yeah, bro.
They're disorderly.
You know what?
I treat everybody the same.
Beef.
You get what I'm saying?
I said RCMP is so useless. They can't find anything. They only check the cam footage, the trail cam footage after like 20
That
days.
ain't no good.
Yeah, that's not good.
They should have poured off the whole fucking block. People all in the house. People in the woods.
Yeah. You're saying
I was even in the woods. As soon as, before I even got to the place, they said the kids are missing. The first thing I thought is Daniel. I even told the police.
Yeah, I can understand why the first thing he thought was Daniel when he heard the kids were missing. We had to go over to the house. How could you not? With all of the stuff that we've come to learn that collectively he hears through the conversations from Cindy. Yeah, that's right. He says he did. Michelle used to hang out with him years ago.
I can't blame you. I mean, I actually
him, what you say. Yeah. And the girl knows. Malaya knows. Guess what? They're 34,000 in debt. So they might have been ripping off.
Even Daniel and Malaya?
Both of them brothers. See, they're probably registering all 5 kids.
No, that wouldn't surprise me. I only work like once a week. Yeah.
You get this here?
It's not even working.
So you wouldn't get no money at the 20th. You know, you get the child or the kid checks.
Yeah, it's not like milk money.
They're ripping them off. They owe 34,000. She ran her grandmother's credit card. 8,000. They even stole the card, and she didn't even charge it. Another time.
So it's interesting to say that, you know, we talk about all of these debts she ran up, but Malaya actually stole the card from Patty and ran it up to $8,000. That's different. Stealing. She went and stole the credit card, ran it up on her. It wasn't just borrowed and she went, you know, on a bit of a shopping spree. Wade used the term stole, so we have a history of stealing. Malaya stole it. That would suggest, you know, to me that there's probably some substances involved.
You borrowed $1,600. Said you'll pay her the next year. And she told her right to her face, I'm not paying you back. You can't be good to it.
I think probably Daniel myself. But do you think?
Don't bring him up.
Yeah, but some people online also said maybe Malaya did to bring the kid to reserve because Daniel myself was being abusive to his kids. So she was trying to protect those 2 kids.
I know, but where are they at?
Nah, that's what Doe would say. Doe would say Malaya for those kids to the supermarket.
No, she just had the baby there, but the CPS took her and they put her
so
foster care for now. I think she's getting her back.
Middle,
and she's gonna live on the reserve.
Okay. So she has a kid right now, or?
Oh, why didn't his kids disappear? Daniel's 2 other kids. You get what I'm saying?
That's why I was trying to figure it out, man. It's so strange.
I don't care if they're at the mall or not. They're probably gone before the morning. You get what I'm saying?
But I just don't understand, man. No offense, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect him. I respect her, Malaya.
Yeah.
But why she act like this way? She's not sad. She go to beach every day, like you said.
Every day.
So strange. But everybody says she's your mother. Do you remember?
Ain't no good.
Belinda? Belinda says she's your mother. You know Belinda?
No, she don't. Belinda never seen her, the kids for 3 years.
She didn't see the kids for 3 years?
The boyfriend, he was fucking crazy. He used to be there. The real baby there. And we moved them from Greenfield. You ever heard?
So it's saying that Cody is crazy AF and was apparently hitting up on Malaya as well in their relationship. I wonder how much. Well, Belinda hasn't really come forward and said a whole lot about it. I wonder how much she knows about it. Probably enough. She probably heard all the bad things when they were in court. You get to read the discovery and all the bad things that the person is alleging against you, no matter how crazy they are.
Greenfield. They had 100 bags of dirty diapers in the basement. Come on.
At least they put them in bags.
Probably doing that, it's too much abuse on her, so it's just a lump, right?
He's probably pimping her.
Did he just say he was probably pimping her too? I got my earbud, my headphones on. I'll see if I can pick this up.
On her, so it's just a lump, right?
He's probably pimping her.
Right there. He said that, didn't he? He said, I think he could have been pimping her out too, in that sense. We'll listen one more time.
He's from Mustard. Yeah,
probably doing that, it's too much abuse on her, so it's just a lump, right?
He's probably pimping her.
He was probably pimping her out and everything. Now, I'm not saying this whether I want you to believe it or not, but I'm saying to you, why would Wade be suggesting all of this? Well, because it goes along the lines. Remember how I keep talking about it? And it's like, well, why wouldn't you? This guy's desperate. They're stealing fucking money for substances and drugs. You can go on and do all of your debaucherous, degenerate things online to make money in a sexual manner. Why aren't they engaged in that? The answer is probably they are. And here Wade is saying that he's probably pimping her out too, what he can. But mind you, this isn't New York City, brother. This isn't Detroit. This is Pictou County, Nova Scotia. Not everybody has all kinds of money and are paying. It's a special kind, so you've got to go to Backpage or Craigslist and advertise. Maybe that's why he's always with her when he's driving her around. He's got all the kids in the car and he's going to drop her off, try to rip off would-be Johns. Yeah, you heard that too, CJ? I'm not the only one. That really stood out to me there. I wonder why he would have brought that up. I wish he would have probed him a little further.
The real baby there. And we moved them from Greenfield. You ever heard of Greenfield? They had 100 bags of dirty diapers in the basement. Come on. He's from Mustard. Yeah,
probably doing that, it's too much abuse on her, so it's just a lump, right?
He's probably pimping her. The neighbor, he does barrel racing all around.
Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
Here's another thing. Did he just say barrel racing? You know what barrel racing is in my mind? Maybe they still do it out in the East Coast. You know, on like an ice pond, where you get a bunch of barrels together and you put your skates on and you go in circles, and you turn around towards the beginning and jump to see how many barrels you can fly over with skates. That's barrel jumping. What? He's talking about horses, harness racing. Yeah.
Yeah, you come back anytime.
Yes,
come and visit.
For sure. Thank you so much, bro. Really appreciate it.
There's beaches over here like Pugwash.
You know the RCMP, they have a reward for $150,000 if you can find the kids.
Yeah, if I had the kids, I had the money. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you can find out where's Malaya living in Supermarket, let me know. And
I don't think they're
we'll spend the money.
You never know. You never know. They're so far in the woods you won't find them.
Yeah, but
you see all the woods there? You can go 20 miles that way. They could have went 20 miles that way towards like Muscadot, and the kids could be buried.
Exactly.
But they should have cautioned the whole fucking trailer right off. No people on it. You get what I'm saying? And plus, when I was the day they went missing, I seen one of Lilly's shirts on the car here in the coat. I forgot all about it. I'm the only one that noticed that. Even if he said,
I'm sorry, what did you say? You see
you know them cars that are parked outside?
the Daniel Mattel's car?
Yeah, there's a shirt.
Was a shirt? Is a
And one of Lilly's shirts and, a jacket. On the car, like on the wind right here.
It was a nice day after the folks missing.
They could have been gone that night, at 11 that night, May 1st. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might just put them on the camera to show that they were at the whatever, the mall, whatever, and they never made it on either. Huh?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I'm not sure how he passed the polygraph test though.
They just tell you that you passed.
Yeah.
But they
RCMP.
tell when you're lying.
Yeah.
They hook all this shit up. Some of them they make you lie to see how it comes out. But there's some they know that you're lying and they'll ask you the question a different way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can tell he's guilty all over.
Well, that's true. RCMP never confirmed that he actually passed or not. Right? So he's the only one saying he passed it.
They say you passed,
Yeah.
but do you really pass? Maybe some questions you passed and some you didn't. You know?
Exactly.
They just tell you that, keep you talking.
Yeah. He is lying all the time.
But the police show he said he didn't go on no news or talk. There's a couple of news people come there. He said no interviews. You can come in.
Yeah, bro.
I'm sorry, the police show you don't talk no media.
I know he's a piece of...
They're doing it for the money. Now they're painting the burn. You see the paint on the burn at their house?
Yeah, I saw
How come you didn't clean up the air when you get what I'm saying?
You got a point.
Yeah, I heard that statement too, Norbeaster. People were playing it the last couple of nights on their live streams. You see Durwood's statement on how if Daniel did do something that they would definitely be deceased. He knows how violent Daniel is. Yeah, I find that an interesting statement. It was definitely interesting, even though it came from Durwood, the old dirty old man. Sex smuggling and barrel racing is a problem in Nova Scotia. Sex smuggling, you mean trafficking? Everybody's trying to get their piece. Yes, he would. Well, it's part of the rapport building. Believe me, he's already talked about being in there for multiple polygraph examinations. Listen, it's not an easy button, and it's certainly not how Daniel was portraying it to Patty in that sense. He wishes it was. Wait till they start scrutinizing your story, old Danny boy, when they have Malaya in the other room and Janie in the third room. And they jump in between all rooms at the same time, trying to sort out the story for the final time. You can almost hear those silver bracelets rattling. Would you like to stand up and turn around for me? Put your arms behind your back.
That's the first thing I said. Now what did Daniel do? That's the first thing I said. He probably killed him right off the top. Before even, as soon as we were leaving to go there, the day they were in there. That's how it was right off the top. So he probably did something.
Maybe.
But she knows.
Maybe it's an overdose. So.
Yeah, you never know.
Maria probably should feel like she was partially responsible too, so she can talk.
I'm surprised you ain't in jail for neglect.
Exactly. Everybody's saying
they should have took all three of them in jail anyway.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna talk. You just leave them in there.
I've been to Supermarket a couple times already, and that place, trust me, you don't want to go there. You feel white, you feel black, but for me, I'm okay. That's why I'm a native, even I'm not.
Yep.
Yeah. So my friend,
you kind of look like you could fit right in.
Yeah. If you know,
I know all kinds of people there, so I have no.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just
no problem.
If you happen to know the address in the supermarket, where's Maria right now? Let me know, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's try to find it together. Yeah. Sesame Street?
Maybe, I'm not sure. I know there's a Sesame Street.
Is it closer to a school or the
it's way down the other end.
Close to the police station? Or the
I don't really know that. It's like a rec center.
The rec center?
Like a rec center.
What's that? Is that a church?
It's like a gym.
Gym? Oh, could be a school.
I don't think it is.
I saw it's a huge school. So
it's like a big thing there.
Oh,
and there before that, you go left. That place I was trying to drive up from here to the road. So it's on the left, that road, whatever that road. I don't know
what's the number, bro?
My number?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they're not there. We were there.
Tin, if you're out there listening to this somewhere, you need to call Wade back and do a follow-up interview with him, and over the phone interview with him just about everything. See if he has any updates, any thoughts he'd like to share, and things like this. But don't do it live. To do it like, and make sure he knows that you're doing it this time.
You were in the supermarket?
I said they're gone.
For me, I don't know why
the kids are gone.
Darren. Why he keeps saying the kids
yeah. I don't know why they don't take them in. If you know where they were, you'd have the money. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you guys probably should sue him, man. Did Malaya actually get a lawyer, or she doesn't have a lawyer?
Girl, got the knick-knack lawyer. Before that, she had fucking money. She owed $34,000. $34,000 in debt. Supposed to be working one day a week, and other week's reporting.
You know what? It raises the really hard question to face in all of this is when you close your eyes or you think back to yourself, how do you think if the kids did meet a violent end, and it's looking more likely that they did, think about the state of mind and the type of individual that didn't do it once but turned around and did it in succession twice.
What I think?
As soon as she got her check, she used to get her check. 2 days later, she's phoning her grandmother. Her grandmother got money. And she's still sending her money. Now, how can you spend? She's probably getting $2,000 something a month. And it's gone in 2 days. It's impossible. How can you spend $2,000? So she might be on the drug too. I don't know.
Yeah, Pokemon is not going to cost that much. That's what I know.
Yeah.
Danny Malaya, I only know if he has a hobby for fishing or Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's not going to cost that much.
Fishing. No, the grandmother's taking all their money. Or the mother, Dan's mother. It was all like incest. You tell her all, you get the weird feeling out there when everybody was around.
Yeah.
Did you come up to...
I think Ted's Korean.
Cindy's son's sister. What's her name?
Son's sister.
Haley. Must have heard Haley.
Haley Mackenzie.
She goes, you get out of my fucking yard. That's what Danny come right up to her. You get out of my fucking yard. Don't you accuse my fucking son of it. And I just walk up the top of the line.
See, I like this part because this is Wade talking about the violent confrontation. Violence only just a shot away, isn't it, around that house? Wade's acknowledging that he was present when this confrontation happened at the end of the driveway, where Malaya's friend was accusing Daniel of being not only high AF, but about him being responsible for the disappearance like he is. And Janie lashed out viciously, got physical with her. What does that tell you? Tells you that at that point in time, Janie probably knew like the reality of the situation, the truth.
Son's sister.
Haley. Must have heard Haley.
Haley Mackenzie.
She goes, you get out of my fucking yard. That's what Danny come right up to her. You get out of my fucking yard. Don't you accuse my fucking son of it. And I just walked up the top of the hill. I ain't giving no fucking yard.
Even she was one of the YouTube.
She always beat the shit out of Daniel and them in there. You can tell she didn't play.
Oh, she was one to find the pink shirt on the tree, eh? And she was one thing that...
Was there really a shirt?
That's one of the blankets.
But how to get to the tree?
Yeah.
Now, when they found that blanket, did they already search in that area? Was it already searched? Or was it put there after the search?
Yeah.
But I heard it was on a trail, like a 4-wheel.
It was probably stupid. Daniel's tweaked out thought that by him planting or putting a piece of fabric out there, it would lead them to believe that the kids wandered away in a certain direction. Does he have to remind you just how smart he is? No, everybody's stupid. Everybody else in the world is stupid. Except for Daniel. Daniel can take that. Daniel can take abusing these substances on the daily for years because he has. And look at him. Oozing with machismo. It hasn't affected him in a negative aspect at all.
But how would he get up in the tree?
Exactly.
The kids would have dropped. It's gonna be on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But that blanket could have been there for fucking 5 years. You don't get what I'm saying?
I don't think that.
I'm going up here. There's a sweater in the tree up here. On your way to Ox.
No, it's not a great cover. No, not even close to being a great cover. It's stupid. When he really gets put on the spot, you're the ones talking about it. Well, what's the association? What are you alluding to? What does it have to do with Jack and Lily? Was it your blanket? The fact that he first lied about it and then came and changed his mind about it, and then knowing about the fist-size hole in the garbage bag, and he's trying to put it together as though he's presenting some never-known-before facts about a situation where he's a victim in. It didn't go over very well at all. It makes no sense. Nobody can still really tell you what it's there for or why it's there. Oh, do you think it's planted? Yeah, but anything planted is planted just to make Daniel look guilty. Remember that. Yeah, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Yeah, it's definitely applicable to Daniel here. Absolutely. Including the way that he fucked up staging a scene.
I was looking. I said, look at the shirt in the tree. See what I'm saying? I could have been there for 10 years.
The
same as his footprint. That footprint could have been anybody's footprint.
Yeah, one footprint was on the driveway.
Like you could be walking, and it might take half of your foot.
Yeah.
And it'll look like a kid's print. And that print could have been there 10 years.
So one of the footprint was confirmed. The only confirmed one was on the driveway of the house. Another one was near the pipeline. Yeah.
That ain't fuck all.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything, right?
That don't mean shit.
Shit, yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
If they
But the same story.
They killed him. They said the boy don't listen to him, so he probably flipped out and broke his fucking head. Or smothered him. I still say he's not even living. I won't say that to Cindy. I just know that he's rough. I know that he did something. And they buried him way in the fucking woods that you ain't finding it.
It must be really hard on the grandmother too.
Yeah.
Was Cindy cry?
Yeah, she cries all the time.
All the times.
Yeah. And the great grandmother, but she don't get on. That's the other, not Cindy's mother. She was never interviewed or nothing. And they lived there for a year or something. And they should have stayed there. Yeah. They said get a job in the store.
I know.
And then she was going to give her the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nice house. And now she's selling the house. And she's moving to an apartment. So I hope her son was paying that. He made
Daniel Martel, he's not going to tell shit. He's not going to tell you he did or anything. But seems like
they gotta put him in. They should put them all in.
Malia seems like she knows something.
That's why I told her there's only 3 people.
And she probably,
I don't know why I'm doing this.
She's probably going to talk. Talk with Malia. Talk with her.
That's it.
She's going to talk with her. Eventually, she's going to break.
That's it. Put them all in jail.
Yeah.
I said there's only 3 people there. I don't mind doing this.
I know she's your stepdaughter, but For the kids, man. Kids always first.
I know, but she didn't care.
She didn't bust it like that.
She bring them over and clothes were fucking filthy, dude.
Was she always
Her
like
face
this?
was, yeah.
Or
no,
you was
you wasn't brought up like that.
or it was after
Yes, you wouldn't even clean up after herself. You wouldn't even sweep your floor.
Was she
do her fucking dishes?
Yeah.
Fucking dirty bitch.
Think about as well how bad Malaya was made to feel over Jack and Lily all of the time by Daniel and Janie around that house for such a long period of time. She probably grew to resent the kids because of all the turmoil, the emotional turmoil that was being put upon her. You know, she was taking out, she wasn't encouraged in that sense to be a mother in a loving sense. Do you know what I mean? Out of care and warmth. They weren't nurturing a healthy environment for stable, for even the bare necessities. There's no stability within that household when Daniel is admittedly on substances day in and day out, no matter what substance it is. Just so happens that he happens to be on the worst type of substance in these situations.
I told her to get them fucking dishes, man. And clean up after yourself.
Did she change a lot after she moving with the Mattel, or is she always like this?
She was like that with the other boy.
With other
I told her
boys,
there's 100 bags of diapers. Dirty diapers and piss and shit.
But the other guy was beating her, right?
Yeah, he
was abused. Okay.
This guy abused her too. So.
Yeah, I could imagine that Malaya brought up the term overwhelmed quite often. That's a subtle hint to Daniel that she requires more help from him in the relationship. Daniel brings that term up all of the time as though it's a way to make Malaya look bad. When you're in a relationship with a person and there's 3 children in the home and one person feels overwhelmed, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad parent or they're doing something wrong or they're ignoring, and it's a subtle hint to the other person that things have to change in that sense. She needs more help. She needs more help in assisting with the parenting duties. She's been made to feel that everything's her responsibility. That's what she's emotionally overwhelmed with. The unrealistic dynamics of this particular family. And Daniel can't wait to use that as an example as to her not taking or fulfilling her responsibilities within the household. His perceived roles that she is pretty much in charge of everything, including looking after him.
She must like it to stay. Phone the police and get out of it. That's it.
Just like a Macklin.
You wait till you're sleeping and fucking... You cripple him and put a fucking knife in him. Like put a knife right in his fucking back. And you don't bother you.
Yeah.
Phone the police and see you later.
Yeah.
Take the charge, you know what I'm saying? He beat you. You must try to get off. I told my daughter. Her last girlfriend. I beat the shit out of her. So we picked her up and dropped her on her. Way over in Helmsdale. So I got him when he's in.
Douchebag Daniel also indicated that there was escalation by stating that Malaya began to get a lot more physical towards the end of their relationship. Should that be true? Let's just say things became more physical between the two, because what brought her to that point? She'd just walk in and start throwing it heavy, start swinging at fucking hands at everybody? I doubt it. I would say things escalated to a point. So again, I believe Daniel's putting it all on Malaya just for the sake of making her look bad in this moment. Added pressure that he can manipulate her with from afar. I don't buy it at all. This little relationship that these two have is ridiculous. You needed to get the fuck out of there, but I would have to say that Malaya didn't figure that she had many choices. She's just fucked over most of the people in her family. And have been, she had to leave. Like her options in her mind probably didn't seem all that good. But like Wade says, you should have just sunk a knife in his back and took the charge if they were going to indeed charge you with anything in that circumstance. Be done with it.
I said, I hope you drop dead and overdose, you fucking brother. Then I looked in the obituaries the other day, and he passed away out west, overdose. That was my daughter.
I don't know anyone here is going to drop.
Yeah. Old here is all
New Glasgow.
Even all old here is nothing.
Teacher counties.
Yeah.
Mass heads everywhere.
I don't even like taking a nap. I had to take an Advil for my arm. I didn't want to take that.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's still so.
And that's like, if you want to, like a flight drones, like anything, you go like a drones.
Somebody over here got one.
Yeah.
You saw them do?
I saw them. I have a new one. Yeah,
you got camera and stuff?
Got camera, all this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to text you a message, and I'm going to send you a picture and other stuff.
So when I get home, I'll see your number, and I'll call you.
For sure.
Like it won't ring, but it's ringing, but it doesn't ring.
Yeah, I'll text you too.
Oh yeah, yo, that's Tint's video, as seen over on Adventures Underwater UK's channel once again. I appreciate you sticking it out for this almost 3 hours this morning. We'll be back a little bit later on, maybe tonight or tomorrow morning. Keep an eye out for some video uploads. So we took out of this particular run through that comment from Wade that he brought up about he was probably pimping her out and everything. That has me interested as to why he mentioned such a thing, because that was the only thing left. You were there in the first place. I think there's probably more to it. What made him say that, I wonder? I don't know. Yeah, I heard Justin mention my name last night. He's having some sort of communal panel on Friday. I might join. It depends what's going on. I might say I'm not and then jump up there if I see Kent and just troll the fuck right out of him. Is your new buddy Drunk Turkey going to be up there running security? Maybe he can be my new security man. He can be my Virgil, like Virgil was to the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase in the WWE. Yeah, I won't be too far away. I can't say yes for sure. We'll see what it's all on about. If I'm in the mood, yeah, I'll grab a link. If he's advertising a link, I'll go up there and porn bomb him. No problem. Take his channel down. Fucking right. Porn bomb that SOB. Oh, I don't know if I will. I wouldn't do that to Justin. But I get him worried about it. Anyway. Friends, thanks for sticking it out. Let me know in the comments section below. Hello to you. Thank you for making it this far. For those watching in the future, leave a comment. Get the conversation started in the comment section below, because that's a whole different world down there. Let me know what it is that you think about this drinking turkey. This Danny J Hernandez dude working security. He's been ousted. He's been outed. Now we know why you're fucking dumb. Misrepresenting what it is that you're doing. Come on. I'll see you guys on the next one, friends. I'll leave you out with some of that G-Funk.